Good afternoon and welcome to the Happy Half Hour. I'm Leigh Kubin.
Sandra Priestley, welcome to our podcast. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
I am drinking. Do you remember last week I said I was drinking water with strawberries and cilantro and it did
Uh-huh.
not good? But
Yeah.
at that time, I did say that my favorite drink that I haven't drank in a lot of years, but my favorite drink was lemon and mint and cucumbers. And that
Oh,
is what I have today in my water amongst my ice cubes. But you can see, like, I can't stop sipping on it.
yeah.
I flippin' love this combo. It's delicious. And then you can have a little snack when you're done.
See, that's what I was thinking too, because I am having a little peach water with some blackberries
Oh,
and peach and blackberry. Not too shabby.
yeah. Okay. What are we
Okay.
going to talk about today?
Okay. Let's go. Saturday, when I got home from the office, typically on Saturdays, I work short days, but I've got several hypnotherapy patients that day. When I get home, I always, first thing I do is do my meditation. It's like a release and a
Mhm.
relaxing time. I clear my mind so that then I can get whatever I need to done on Saturday done or play or whatever is on the agenda. And we had nothing planned. We were just going to hang out and, whatever. So as soon as I get done with my meditation, I look over at my phone and I've got a message from this guy, David. I open it and it says, "Hey, I have a cancellation if you want to come by now. I'm free till 5." And I'm like, who the hell is this? So I scroll up. Well, it's the tattoo guy that when I took Lily for her tattoo, we were supposed to get our tattoos done together. She didn't explain it really, I think, to the girl correctly. So
Okay.
I didn't get mine, but I made an appointment. Anyway, I told him, I said, if you get an opening before then, just let me know and maybe I can make it. And I thought, oh, well, yeah, yeah. Well, we didn't get to him till 8 o'clock. So we were up there for a bit, but we had the best time. We were talking. I had my book. I was reading a little bit. He was playing a game on his phone. And then we're chatting and then we're laughing. And it almost felt like we were just on this date. And then at 8 o'clock, finally, he's ready, he's done, and we get started. And I end up going in a whole different direction with what I was
Oh,
going to do, and which was great. But now I need another tattoo, but that's another story. But long story short, we got home about 10:30 and then came and sat in the kitchen and just sat and talked and laughed. And it was the best impromptu date night. But besides that, and besides how much fun it was for us, when David starts working on me, and I met him once when I was
mhm.
up there with Lily, he seemed very quiet, calm, sweet, like there was a sweetness about him. And we start talking, and he's married to the girl
I
that
did listen
that
to
did
you.
Lily's tattoo.
Mhm.
So I'm not in his chair for 5 minutes, and he's asking me about me and where I'm from, and then I ask him where he's from, and he's like, "Oh, I grew up, outside of the United States, and I came here, and then I got arrested and spent 15 years in federal prison for armed robbery." And I didn't ask him too much about then. I was really more interested in now. But he did say it was a horrible time in my life. I've never been more afraid and fearful and scared. And it was a mess.
Mhm.
And although I wanted to know, like, give me the details, I thought that's his history. That's not who he is today. I want to talk more about who he is today. And so he proceeded to tell me how he learned to do ink in prison.
Yeah.
And he said, but then I found out you could get in trouble for it. So
Yes.
he channeled, instead of tattooing people, he started drawing.
Nice.
And he became this artist, and he did all of these portraits and things, and he sold them in prison.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess in 15 years, you get really, really good. And because throughout the shop, there's artwork everywhere, and it's his.
Cool.
And then he was telling about when he got out. And he said when he got out, he's like, I have to be a tattoo artist. Like, that's what I want to do. And so he did. He went and worked for somebody, and he got married. He had a baby, and that did not work out. They divorced, but I guess they're still somewhat close because they share custody of the son. And now he's married to this other woman, and she has a son from a previous marriage, and he's helping raise him. Well, they're buying a house this Friday. And he's just telling me all the things they're doing and they've done. And he's like, Leigh, I'm getting a house with a pool. My kids are going to have a pool in their backyard. I've never had a pool in my backyard. And I was just listening to this guy that could have had a completely different story. You know, he could have gotten out of prison and been angry and bitter and just
Yeah.
continued down the road that he
Mhm.
was on. But instead, he's created this beautiful life. Now, is it the life for everybody? No, not everybody wants to be a tattoo artist. Not everybody needs to, but he found his way. He found a way to express himself and to connect with people and to make a lot of money and give his family a beautiful home. And it just, I thought, what a beautiful night. Like
Mhm.
when we got home, because not only was it this beautiful date night, but I had this man share. He didn't have to share all of that, but there was no shame in it. There was
Mhm.
no, I got to hide. I've got to be somebody I'm not. It was just, this is who I am. And you couldn't help but love him.
Well, and I think, like, regardless of how he got there, how he got to prison, those 15 years would have been very transformative and sometimes in the worst of ways, right?
Yeah.
You meet new friends in prison.
Yeah.
You're terrified, you get stuck in a situation where you're surrounded. I mean, if you want to talk about being surrounding yourself with you are the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. Look at what you're surrounding yourself with, and
Correct.
you do for 15 years and then get out. It is not easy
Hmm.
to take that first step out into freedom and decide I'm going to make something with myself. That takes
Yeah.
dedication and
Hmm.
discipline to go against what you have used for safety for 15 fucking
Yeah.
years.
Yeah. Oh, and should I mention he owns the tattoo shop? It's his.
Nice.
But
Nice.
he's a miracle.
Mhm. Yeah.
But it was because of what he thought and what he believed.
Mhm.
And that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
So it was just a moment that I thought I would share because we all need those
And
reminders.
now you have a permanent reminder.
I do.
Possible. Well, I love it. I love that story.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
we just have to pay attention. All
mhm.
that, those stories are available to us
Yeah.
everywhere. If we will connect with people and instead of being so busy and in a hurry, I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for that.
Yeah. Or just not recognizing that everyone's journey is special and that there's
Yeah.
like magic in it. Like no matter what
Mhm.
what it is or what the story is, I think when we are interested in other people instead of always being interesting, but like when
Yeah.
we're interested, I think we learn a lot.
Mhm.
Just having that insight and like being able to see another person's magic
Yeah.
is so incredible. Like
And
it just
even
everything in your life when you can see someone else's
yeah.
magic.
But
Mhm.
even if you don't like tattoos, if you met the guy and connected with him, you would have to see his magic. You
Mhm.
know, you might not you might go, "Well, I don't need a tattoo," but this is amazing what
Yeah,
he's done, how he
yeah.
shows up in his life. And I mean, he's my age.
Mhm.
You know, he got a late start, but man, he's doing great.
I
Far
love it.
surpassing what would be expected.
I had a coaching client this week. She came to me early in the week, was I think it was Monday, and she said, I have to tell you, I am not fucking happy where I am.
Mhm.
I am absolutely miserable. So I don't like the current job that I'm working with. I don't like the person that I'm contracted under. I'm just absolutely miserable. And I know you're going to tell me to journal. I know you're going to tell me to meditate, and I don't want to fucking do it. We went from that space. And so I said, okay, so do you want to sit in it or do you want to shift out of it? I just said, do you want me to just listen or do you want me to coach you through it? No, I want your advice. I want your coaching. And so we went through, she and I have had this long standing joke about finding the crack in your business. And I would like to say that it's like the crack of the darkness, like a beautiful, no, it's like crack cocaine. Like let's use crack cocaine, but it's like you need to have something in your business or in your life that lights you the fuck up. Like you need to have something that like excites you.
Yeah.
Not that's not crack cocaine, but like that's just what flew out of my mouth. This is. And when we can do more of that, when we can like discipline ourselves and push ourselves to do more of that, even a little bit every single day, things just magically happen.
Yeah.
And when we look at this tattoo artist, he started tattooing in prison. So then he starts drawing in prison with this intention of, I'm going to probably, I'm guessing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I'm going to be a tattoo artist. So I'm going to work my ass off while I've got some time.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use these 15 years to hone my artistry and then get out and do more of what he's meant to do.
Yeah.
And the more we do the things that light us up, the more we do the things that just bring us joy,
Mhm.
the more life works out.
Yeah.
We spend so much time knowing we should do it and resisting doing it,
Mhm. And
not
why the fuck do we do that?
well, this is something I'm working on. But I,
'Cause we
I,
do.
we do, and I think it's just what we make it mean. Like,
Yeah.
you know, he
Yeah.
could, he could have just as easily come out of that prison and thought, I really want to be a tattoo artist, and then said, but I can't. I mean, resistance will obviously set in, and we either bend to it or we push through it
Yeah.
or we work around it.
Mhm.
So, he could have easily bent to it and said, but I'm an ex-con. No one is going to want to hire me. I don't have any fucking money to do this. I haven't tattooed on anyone for 15 years. I don't have any business sense. I don't know what to do. I don't have any money. I don't have any support. I don't have anywhere. No one is going to hire me. And he could have slipped right back into a life of criminals,
Yeah. Because he felt
nasty.
like he had no other choice.
Right. And I mean, that's what he'd surrounded himself with for 15
Yeah.
years. Like he could have just as easily done that, but instead he chose to follow his bliss.
Mhm.
Like it's like, I'm telling you, Joseph Campbell, like was on your website.
Yeah.
When you follow your bliss, there will be doors where there were once walls.
Yeah.
And it is so, so true. Like that quote, I will never forget. It was like, and I can picture it on your website.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even picture the website, but I can picture where it was written. Like I
Yeah.
can picture words. And it's so true that there's brilliance within each of us. And when we are just like lucky enough to find it, or lucky enough to see that it's there, and ballsy enough to go forward
Yeah.
to reach for it, like everything just works out. And I mean, it was funny because we talked about like what was she doing that made her feel great. Like she's a creative, and
Mm-hmm.
her favorite thing to do is create courses and create courses. And then she's got a sales block. So she doesn't want to create the course because she's got the sales block. And so I said, what if we just create the courses? What if we just didn't worry about the sales and we just created the courses because it felt good? Because when it feels good, you're going to sell. When you feel into your joy, when you do, it just naturally happens. So what did
Yeah.
she do? She spent 4 hours in her fucking business, signed a client.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Signed a client, and she did not advertise for it. It just opened up to the possibility of the universe coming through, you
Yeah.
know?
Because
Yeah.
when we listen and we create, they
Mhm.
come.
As soon as we're doing something that is in we're aligned for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we're in alignment, it's like magic happens,
Mm-hmm.
and people drop into our lives with ideas, and they're aligned ideas,
Yeah.
just like when that dude came up to you and said, are you trained in NLP?
Yeah.
I mean, you could, and like, I have to believe that you were on your path, and he was placed there
Yes, he was.
to say, do you do an NLP? And you
Yeah.
could have said, no, what the fuck is that? And not thought another thing about
But
it.
I had heard it like twice before.
Right.
So it was one of that it was like, okay, I get it. I get it.
Yes. And sometimes we get the message numerous times and we just don't
Yeah.
listen. And
But
that
you
was
know,
the
I have not seen that dude
really,
since that day. I haven't seen him since. Not been to one event.
you gotta find him.
Oh, I've got his card and I keep saying I'm gonna call him and thank him
Yeah.
because that moment changed my life.
Yeah. It's so funny, hey, how I have moments as well where I felt the same way because of a stranger.
Mm-hmm.
I I can't go back. There's no possible way to go back on the situation, but I wish in the moment that I had taken the time to thank that person.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I talked about this, but when I was on the university campground and I was almost attacked, there was another student, a male student, who yelled out, and the person dropped his arms and then just kind of left me alone. I think about him every so often, a couple
Yeah.
times a month. I'm just
Yeah.
thinking, yeah, like I was not going to turn around because I was too scared, but I wish that I could go back now and say, fuck, thank you, because what could have happened? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
But
Amazing how people are just placed
just
like little angels,
very much, very
but
much.
they're listening.
Mhm.
You know, and then you play the game, or I play the game. Shit. What if I didn't make it there that night? Because, you know, remember, Paul was annoying me on the way there. And I was like talking to myself, going, okay, Leigh, you can change your attitude and go and have a good night, or you should just go home. But you can't show up in this energy. And that was enough for me to like let it go. But then I thought, what if he didn't show up? What would have happened? Nothing.
Yeah.
But I would not be on this path right now if he hadn't drug his ass there and then said to me, hey, you do NLP.
Yeah. Except that you had heard about it. It had come around a few times, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe it would have
Maybe
been a
someone else would have.
different time. It would have been, you know, like who knows?
Yeah.
But yes, those.
But it was timely.
Mhm.
It
Yeah,
all, the way that it worked out just makes me smile because it's like, of course it did.
yeah.
Of course it did.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
And I love those opportunities where it's like, you know, we have, I think we get all of these divine messages. Same with my client. She said,
Yeah.
Sandra, I have been listening to this. I've been getting this idea. It keeps coming every few weeks, every month, every time I sort of get sidetracked. I hear this message of you need to do it differently. This
Hmm.
is what everyone is doing. You need to do it differently. And I think white space is always amazing for business. And so I was like, she told me about this a few months ago, and I was like, yes, yes, this is perfect. You need to do this. But then
Hmm.
the resistance kicked in. And she kept getting messages and messages and messages, like just reminding her, hey, hello, McFly, like
Yeah.
you have to do this. And so we started coaching on Monday. By Tuesday morning, she opens up her Facebook and there is a person with the same niche as her, a person who is selling the same product in a unique way that was her way. And she said to me, shit, of course this would happen. I get this message all along and I don't take action on it and someone else does. And I said, or this is confirmation for you. You're on the
Hmm.
right track.
Yeah.
Move your fucking ass and go.
Yeah. Let's go.
Like, who's this random chick? I don't know her. Like,
Hmm.
so who cares?
Yeah.
But I think that, you know, if it's meant for us, we'll eventually get it. But we spend so much time resisting it, or we spend so much time sort of like listening to it, and we hear it a little bit louder. We get the message, and we think that it's
Or,
speaking, and it interests us.
but we talk ourselves out of it.
Talk ourselves out of it.
Well, I can't do that because of this, and I can't do that because of this, and what if this, and what if this, and
Mhm.
all the noise.
I don't have time. I don't have the energy. I
Mm-mm.
don't have the money.
Mhm.
I don't know how. Right. It like, you know, it's all of the talk, all of the bullshit, all of the limiting beliefs, and all
Mhm.
this lack of trust that we have in ourselves. And
Yeah.
it, you know, sometimes it's like we just have to let go of the fear and just
Mhm.
move fully on faith. Just move fully on the fact that if this came for me, it was meant for me.
Yeah, for sure.
And when we can lean into that and just like go all in, I think things happen like this podcast
Mhm.
or your
Magic.
NFT. Oh, and
Yeah.
just like magic. Yeah.
Magic, for sure. Speaking of magic, have you ever heard Abraham talk about demanifestation?
No. And like, I know you said this word before,
Yeah.
and I listen to a lot of Abraham. So
Yeah.
why I have never
So
heard
she
this.
talks about there's going to be a time that she holds seminars where they talk about demanifestation because we're all going to have so much shit and 72 cars in the garages and all of these homes, and we can't be there and take care of them and drive them and keep the oil changed. There's like too much to take care of. And we're going to go, Abraham, we need Sandra. That's where I'm at right now. Now, we have 3 cars, and Paul is taking care of Penelope and
Yes.
all of that. We're fine there. But it's all the little stuff. What I'm trying to tell you is that I've got clutter in my house.
Yeah, you got it. I mean, I'm hearing it's a fancy word for clutter. Yeah.
Probably not exactly what Abraham means, but sort of, because there are things that I will pick up And then it's like, well, you need to get rid of 3 things if you want this. So I think I need to be on a mission to demanifest some of my
Manifestation. It's like deforestation.
yes.
I
Yes.
think, one of my clients, she is doing a March decluttering challenge.
Yeah.
Now, holy shit. On the first day of March, she was removing one thing. On the 20th of March, she's removing 20 things. Like every
Oh, I
day.
love that.
Yes, you could do it in April. But so every single day she's decluttering one thing. If it's the 7th, she's decluttering 7 things. And I mean, over time, like over a month, wow, there's a lot of
Wow.
things getting rid of. So
Yeah.
I feel like we did that a lot when we were renovating our,
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
and so I feel like we did that a lot. But I was looking through my closet going, okay, I could probably get rid of 20 items. I'll bet I could do the entire challenge in my closet.
Mm.
Like truly, I should post about this, my feng shui tip of the day. But at one point, I heard someone say it was a feng shui tip of the day to remove all clothes that no longer fit you from your closet. And when you do, that's when you'll start losing weight.
Oh, yeah, because then you'll have to go buy new clothes. And I hear that all the time. People are
It's
like, damn it, I just got rid of these pants that I've had since I was 20.
yeah.
Or I had one lady that was trying to get down to fit in
Mhm.
these pants that she's had forever because she looked so smoking hot in these
Yeah.
pants.
Yeah.
And she got down and fit in the pants. And you know what she said?
They're ugly.
Leigh, they look awful on me. They fit me, but I don't understand why I've been obsessed with these pants for 20 years.
Wow. So I am 5'10", and there was
I am
one point
not.
in time. Yeah, there was one point in time I bought the most beautiful pair of pants, like the most beautiful pair of pants ever. And they were like these kind of stretchy, but like wide legged, black, beautiful pants. And they were a size 4. Now, 5'10" and size 4 is very small. And I was too small at the time. I was
Mm.
135 pounds on a muscular body. I felt very fit, but wow, like my skin was, my face was kind of sunken in. And people were saying I had illnesses. Like, I mean, like I was
Rumors
just,
going on.
there was a lot of rumors. And I was just eating so ridiculously strictly and working out like a dang. I was working in a gym, and I was in my 20s or early 30s. So, things are easier then. And I kept those size 4 pants forever. I was not a good size at size 4. Like I kept
Mm.
saying, I was way too thin. But I was keeping these pants, and I was keeping these pants because I thought, whoa, I got into a size 4. But it was almost like celebrating something that was unhealthy. You know,
Mm. Mhm.
I think I may start to get rid of things in my closet in that way. Day
Mm.
1 item, day 2,
Yeah.
2 items. It'll feel good.
And I'm one that gets rid of like 9 things at a time.
Why? Karmic completion?
Mhm.
Ah,
I feel like it's abundance and I'm giving my tithe.
okay.
I
Well,
don't know why my brain works that way, but that's just what it feels like. So
right.
but it feels complete to me. So
So
that's what I've been doing is when I'm going around, I'll be looking, okay, I've got 3 more things to pick out through the house. What's going?
okay,
Lily's next. No.
you're gonna have to maybe do 9 times 9, or speed it up a little bit if it feels like you need to demanifest.
Yeah, yeah. because
But
I need to open up. Not really room for more, but just because
so
I
you
do,
can,
I feel like it's heavy.
yeah,
Too much
yeah,
stuff.
yes.
So on that
Well,
note, we are way out of time.
sorry, we have time, but it was fun.
It was fun. Thank you, Sandra. And thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next Thursday on the Happy Half Hour. Bye.